Hey, James.
Hey, Boone.
Yeah,
How,
I reviewed the document already and only have one comment in the Unix session. The Unix.
um, you're Marvin, but I understand that you're saying you were making some changes, right?
No,
Comment.
I only have one comment in the Unix session.
Okay.
Yeah, I highlight it in the comment.
Okay. Let me find that. Appreciate that.
Hi, James. It's Andrew here.
Hey, Andrew. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks. I can only make the first 30 minutes again, so I'll just drop off at 1:30.
Uh, okay, no worries. Yeah, we will maybe try to cover things that might meet you initially.
Sure.
Um, yeah, as much as we can. So,
Good morning, James.
hey, morning, Tony. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Afternoon for me.
Oh, yeah. Just right after the noontime.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I few things I want to quickly share is like
Is anybody else on? Oh, we have, yeah.
Yeah, hi,
So
Tony.
yeah, I did invite two new members to this meeting. I see Mohammed is on, and I'm also invited Vicus. So let's give them a couple of minutes.
okay. I'm seeing Nathaniel is here. Is he also one of the person you mentioned that you
No,
invite? Okay.
no, no. And we have Bill on as well.
Hey guys. Hello from Redmond, Washington.
Oh, hey. Welcome. Hey,
Where you,
Farah. Sorry, go ahead.
while we're waiting for people, where are you located,
Um,
James?
yeah, I'm in California, James. I'm in San Francisco Bay Area.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the West Coast. Hey, Farah. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hi, James. Yes. James, I actually had a very, very quick question for this group. Can I actually ask it?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, good. Thanks. Hi, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Farah Fahim. I'm from Fermilab. We've been doing a lot of 3D ICs for quite a long while. I gave a presentation at one of the OCP workshops earlier. I don't know whether you remember me from there at all. But my quick question was, so over the last 6 months, we've been working with NSF to set up some sort of educational activities on 3D HI for university students. And I was wondering, are there any generic ADKs that this team has developed that we could share with, universities for developing training material around the generic ADKs?
That's a good question, Tony. You might have.
Yeah, I think the short answer is they're a work in progress. So, is one of the things that we've agreed to do is create a test case. So we're actually building a small design using open source libraries. It's a a custom chiplet that we're developing. It's got some RISC-based cores in there, open source, and it's a glass interposer. So we will be developing a CDK in MDK, material design kit. We have portions of that done, and ADK we haven't started that yet. So the idea was we wanted to demonstrate this with something that we could share. So we're trying. So this all should be open source.
Okay, and any timeline for the activity?
Yeah, if you're interested in that, we have a call tomorrow, so that would probably be we could forward an invite to you for that. And I think I'm not sure. I was out last week, so I'm not sure exactly where we're at.
Okay, great.
So,
No, that
yeah,
would be great.
James, can you forward that off to?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to forward that link to you, Farah. I think
Yeah, sure.
And Farah, who are you with again? I did
Yeah,
see.
so
I forgot.
I'm actually with Fermi National Accelerator Laboratory. So this is
Yes, I
DOE
do
National.
remember your presentation. Yes.
Yeah, right. But I also have a joint appointment with University of Chicago, and this NSF proposal that we've been working on is through U Chicago. By the way, Tony, I believe for this proposal, Siemens, Synopsys, and Cadence have offered to provide 3D HI tools for the program, and we are just working through. So NSF very recently asked for some more information, and as a part of that information, I would like to provide them something about generic ADKs and how we could develop training material for students, both undergrad as well as grad students, which can eventually lead to academic research and prototyping. So if you want, I'm happy to give more details and give a presentation on what we presented to NSF, and happy to do that, but don't want to hijack this meeting at all to do any of that. But if you want, I'm happy to follow up later on.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that. I think that would be awesome. It's been on our wish list, but we just don't have the resources. So if you've got some dedicated resources to that, that would be fantastic.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Sure.
I will send you an email. So, yep, thanks.
Yeah, I see Mohammed is joining. So, do we have everyone here? Tony, are we still waiting for somebody else?
We can start. I sent the invite this morning, but let me see if he's on the call. I don't see. Vicus, are you on?
I don't see Michael.
Vicus.
Oh, Vicus, no, I don't see.
Okay. But we could do a quick intro. Mohammed, you want to introduce yourself? We don't hear you. Mohammed,
we don't hear you.
Do you hear?
Yeah, we see that mute, but we can't hear you.
Okay, I'm not sure what the problem is, but Mohammed just joined us at Siemens, and he is part of our 3D IC solutions engineering team, and he is a very experienced signal and power integrity analysis engineer. So we do want to get him up to speed in what we're doing in the 3DK and ADK stuff. So I'm going to set up a separate call with him and kind of go through what we're doing here. So I think as part of the demo that we're developing, the idea is we want to be able to do some signal power integrity analysis and thermal analysis as part of the demo, demonstrating the material properties for the different types of analysis, and then using the ADKs for the physical design, and the CDKs are used for all of the above: physical design and analysis. So that's describing the chiplets and the associated models for the chiplets in order to support the design, planning, implementation, and analysis. Okay, looks like Mohammed's got issues with his his mic. So.
Yeah, he said he will be rejoining, but that's a good intro.
Yeah.
You should we go around table, or we should go ahead and just start then?
Let's get started. Yeah, if we do intros of the whole team, we end up spending half the meeting doing intros. But
yeah, all right. Yeah, I think from my side, I think I just went quickly. I think I go over the updates on the document. So I think from last time, I think we have a presentation. I think from Michael. I think and also see there's updates on the NU, I think example list, which is updated here. So and I think from also previous meeting, I think I added some material information from the ASE. So I think that's what kind of update on these documents. We from previous meeting as well, we kind of trying to put stay in the ground and say trying to match with the timeline for this document, where we originally planned, we trying to get this kind of release around, I think the OCP, the global summit timeframe in October right now this month, but seems like we somewhere close to there, so we're just trying to put some date and hopefully everyone get time to review on it. I think most information in this document, which I put on the share in the link, and in the chat box there, I think we have most information. I think what we talk about so far. I think only some pending information is the not sure. I think I have further update on the material information. I think MDK. I think from the demo meeting. I think I think just mostly just kind of review stuff there. So I think that's mainly update from my side. I just want to see, since we're a new member joining today, just want to see any feedback or any information that you guys have, or Tony have any, you wasn't, I think, there last week. So just see what you have as well. So that's something that I talked to David, we kind of decide, hopefully we can put a time frame around this, or if see any feedback this time, maybe we'll push back to the next meeting. Hopefully we can get some way across, at least some very first version get released, we can always continue to develop next version after we release this one. We just need to make some progress there.
So some update from my side. I don't have any slides to show you or anything. So we got some additional feedback from Andrew and ANSYS about 2 additional properties that need to be added to the schema. Andrew, I do need to follow up with you on understanding how that impacts the other properties. According to Bill Harden, he claims the one that you gave on glass transition temperature can be the trigger to change the properties, the other properties that we had inside in the material design kit. So I don't have time this week to do it, but I think next week we need to have at least a 3-way conversation with yourself and Bill regarding how that impacts the existing structure that we have.
Sure.
And then we need to have the same discussion on the melting temperature. So Bill wasn't sure how that one got done. so that's one piece. In relation to the review of the properties that Bill had to the schema, he had suggested that we avoid the X and Y individual definitions of properties, and to merge those properties into a singular value for X that represented the XY. And his viewpoint was that you don't know the direction of the glass in the material. So having a separate value in the Z direction is fine, but separate values in the X and Y is not recommended. He suggests merging that into an XY value. So we need to review that structure. That would be a change to that piece. And thirdly, he said, in terms of the Z values, there is, according to his tool, the Z values are broken down by alpha 1 and alpha 2, where alpha 1 is less than or equal to the glass transition temperature, and alpha 2 is greater than the glass transition temperature. So this will change the schema a bit. And I just hadn't get that completed yet. So.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing to say about that is that that's very specific to PCBs. If we want to make a general, because Bill, is Bill on the call?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hi there, Bill. Yeah, I'd say that's quite specific
to Andrew.
Yeah. Hi, Bill. It's been a couple of years, isn't it? Yep. Yeah, just that's quite specific, and I think we were trying to make this quite generic, because obviously there are metals and ceramics and glasses which are also within these. And so,
yeah,
I mean, I think that all affects that conversation about TG that kind of Michael talked about earlier. So maybe the three of us should get together and just kind of
I think that would, yeah, I think that would be good. I try, you realize, and I realize, and I tell others, my background is more on the PCB side, but on the PCB side, I'm, probably close to a black belt on this stuff. And I try to think in terms of IC substrates and might at some time need a little bit of help. But usually when you talk about some of these thermal properties, usually they're measured in planes rather than direction specific. So you've got the XY plane, parallel, if you will, and then you've got orthogonal, which we call the Z direction. And that was the subject that Michael and I were trying to work through on a call yesterday. Happy to meet with the three of us. I think we could probably have a pretty efficient meeting, maybe with just the three of us.
I have a quick question. I think, Andrew, you mentioned that is very specific to PCB, right?
Well, it's TG specific to polymeric materials, which are most PCBs include polymeric materials, but it also applies to things like underfill and other polymeric materials.
So when you say underfill, that also potentially apply to packaging as well, right? In the chip packaging.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. Anything that has a glass transition, anything that's made from a polymer is likely to have some kind of glass transition temperature.
Right.
Sometimes it's well outside the operating regime. Sometimes it's slap bang in the middle of the operating regime.
So I'm thinking that this becomes a condition for driving the value of the parameters.
Well, I think that's what we need to talk about because anyway, yeah. So I think we should push that out because Yeah, there are instances where it does and instances where it doesn't, and that's why I had introduced TG as a separate property to help to define where that property changes. But I've got to, I said at the start, I've got to drop off at past. So yeah, so let's get into that some other
So
time.
I'll send out a meeting notice for the three of us and pick a time for next week when we have a bit of time to go through this.
Yeah, well, Michael, yeah, I think the real question is, is this stuff applicable for silicon type things, specifically a chiplet or an interposer? And I think we need some representation there to represent the silicon side. So perhaps Mohammed and maybe even Rudy may want to participate in this discussion.
Okay, all right. I'll and anybody else that would like to join on that?
Yeah, invite me. I'm I don't have that expertise, but I just want to make sure we're going in the right direction. So
Yeah, can you share me the link too?
Okay.
Yeah, I think Andrew, yeah, if you have that information you can share, I think after that discussion or maybe like before, I think to the email, I think that'll be helpful then, so we can also cover in here.
I think the first thing now is to just understand data relationships. That's all I want to try and get done the first time. So it once we have that done, then we obviously be coming back and representing it to the bigger group. So you probably don't want to have a large group now dealing with just trying to understand this data relationships.
Yeah, I agree. So data relationships, that's fine. That could be a smaller discussion, but when we start getting into, what we're doing with silicon interposers and
yeah, but that's the meeting I need to have now. All right, that's a meeting that will come afterwards. So right now I just need Bill's help and Andrew's help and maybe some of the others to understand data relationships so that I can build a schema around it. Once we have that done, then you can take that final picture and see how you're going to consume it inside in the tools. That's a different meeting.
So you're talking about when we're building something, how these the relationships are defined in the schema. So if we're building, a chip with interposers and stuff, that's how you attach the properties to that and where they get attached. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One quick thing though, and Andrew, while you're here, I think so since I didn't attend those meetings, I do see micro presentation last time, but then I just want to double check this spreadsheet that you share, I think in the other meeting, I want to make sure that we capture everything here as well. I think inside this OCP document. So are there anything new? I think from that meeting that was not covered.
Why don't we answer that question, James, after we understand what the relationship of the data is, and then we'll update this document.
Michael, I'm talking about the previous one, not the new one. I'm not talking about the glass transition. I'm talking about this one. Then the previous.
I'm looking at the screen, and I'm so what you're asking, if we were able to put it into this document, I wouldn't be asking the questions because we don't already understand what the data relationships are. So let's wait until we have the data relationships meeting first, and then we'll come back and we'll update this table that you're showing here on the screen.
So when we will have that then? Because I'm trying to set to cross on this document.
I'm not seeing a table on the screen.
You see my screen?
Yeah.
No, I see you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
No, I can see the screen.
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, that's weird.
Oh, there's a button at the top that says James Wong's screen. I was looking for that. I just found it. Okay.
Oh, okay. There it is. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate that.
Okay.
I was in the dark.
I was looking at James' picture on the screen.
Right.
Okay, that helps. Thank you.
Right. Sorry. Yeah.
So Andrew, you're in the UK, right? So I would say.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Uh,
they were sent by Andrew. So I think like I just made a capture. I think like there anything new there. I think like from that meetings. I mean like we compare on that. Also want to try to get some timeline on that.
Okay, so I cannot do Monday morning. I'm typed, yeah, you need a Monday morning, and I cannot do Wednesday morning. I can do Tuesday morning, up to
Yeah.
9 a.m. So Tuesday morning, does that suit you, Bill?
Yeah, I'm looking at my calendar. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be yes. Yeah.
That's 9 a.m.
No, sorry, I cannot. I forgot the IEC meetings for, okay. Let's say
I'm gonna be flexible.
what about 10 a.m. on Tuesday? Monday or Tuesday, would either of those be suitable for you, Andrew? 10
is
a.m.
that
US time is might be
which
too late.
US time? Is that Central or is that East Coast?
Central.
So that's 11. Tuesday. I could say only for half an hour. Do you think we can get it done in half an hour?
No,
I think we probably can.
Chance.
No,
Not a chance. I don't think there's a chance in getting this done in half an hour. There's just too. We would need to go back and review each of the properties and make the decision on that. There's no way we're going to resolve this in 30 minutes. This is at least a 90 minutes, 60 to 90 minute discussion.
okay. I'm gonna struggle all week then to fit that kind of meeting in. I'm afraid. And then I'm traveling all the week after.
We could break it into 2 single-hour meetings.
Yeah. The other option I can do into the evening UK time. So Tuesday. Yeah. Let me just. Can I just put some options down and send them to you?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
I'll
sure.
do that when I get home this evening, and then we can
Right.
try and sort it out.
So Rudy, did you want to join that call?
Yeah, I can join.
All right. And do you have limitations?
I'm planning just no. On what day?
Tuesday.
Available all day, anytime.
Okay. And Mohammed and Tony, I can see your screens. All right. And yeah, I can send out the recommendation, then we can see where we go.
Mhm.
All right.
Michael, can you share the email also when you send
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, sure. I will do that.
All right, so we got that one. So I think that's one pending thing. So just trying to go back to the list here, right? Tony, do you have any idea about like any more updates from the demo? I think anything that I assume that would be just like some example, right? If we have anything from there for the material. We have some, I think from last time, I think I initially provided.
As I said, the last meeting I went to, which was a couple weeks ago, we had the material properties for the glass interposer and the fan out routing ladders, but we need to put something together for the chiplet. So that's where I'm thinking, maybe Mohammed or Rudy could help with that. So we just need to get something in there. I mean, silicon is pretty standard, so it should be straightforward. We just don't have those particular properties. They're typically not in the PCB libraries. So other than that, I think we're okay on the MDK side.
Guys, I'm just checking. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So I was speaking, trying multiple times somehow. Apologize for inconvenience. So there was some questions being asked on the, I think, isotropic behavior of silicon, right?
Yeah, Mohammed, I set up a call later today. I'll get you up to speed in
Oh,
terms
okay.
of what's going on. So I didn't mean to throw this on you without discussing you, but we'll go through it offline. So
Oh,
just
okay. Okay.
okay.
Okay, so sounds like we will wait for after hopefully I think Friday meeting and hopefully by next meeting we will have more updates on this demo example. I think let's put that yeah, and any other things that Tony or anyone want to cover here? I think that's probably the items that I
Yeah.
have.
So what's the status on the spec?
Yeah, the spec is pretty much ready. I think as far as the current status, but I think they're still pending update from the
It's not done, but is it stable enough where we can start distributing this?
I think so. I think we should
Okay.
take a feedback.
Okay. All
Can
right.
I ask an open question based on something I just saw on screen?
Yeah.
It was referring to thermal expansion measured in parts per million per degree K. So, I know all about Kelvin and Celsius and the relation, but until engaging with you guys in this context, I haven't seen people. Yeah, I see per degree C here at the bottom of your screen. That's the only thing I've seen up to this point in time. And in a separate place, I guess up above maybe, I see, Kelvin used. Has anybody else in this call, is anybody else talking about degrees Kelvin? I mean, probably we all know what it is, but I'm used to seeing kind of the standard in electronics.
Yeah, Bill, for cryogenic stuff that they typically use Kelvin. So
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Bill, that
all
probably
right.
came from me, and I would probably agree that should be degree C like the one below it is. I think that just kind of slipped in. So yeah, I mean, we would generally see degree C, but yeah, Kelvin. Yeah, I don't know how that slipped in actually. Anyway, yeah, I'd probably agree, Bill, that degree C would be more consistent. And I think the ppm one, I took that from that sample data. So I assumed that was a commonly used unit of measurement in the semiconductor.
Yeah, ppm is fine. That is used everywhere.
Okay.
I was just commenting on your invocation of Lord Kelvin.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough. Yeah, I'd change that to degree C. That's consistent then. I mean, it doesn't make a difference. It's just a symbol. It doesn't make it, because 1 degree C is the same as 1 degrees Kelvin in terms of
right.
Yeah, but I've seen standards where they like misspell things, and they misspell Celsius, and stuff like that. And if you get in on the front end of it, like we're doing here, you have a chance to like correct it everywhere and not have to fix it later.
Yeah, totally.
So
agree.
are we also getting rid of degree Fahrenheit?
I never see anybody use Fahrenheit.
So we make a recommendation from a standard perspective, we just only use degree C.
If you do that, it's a better standard. That's my opinion.
Well, the only people that use Fahrenheit are US and UK, and they're both represented. So I agree. Andrew?
Well, yeah, my temperature that I set in my house is Fahrenheit.
Right. But for scientific and
It's
Yeah,
Celsius.
no,
Centigrade,
it's not used in the UK anymore. Not for this
Nobody, yeah,
reason.
nobody uses it in our world. So let's
Yeah.
just
The first chips that I did, we used mils instead of microns.
Yeah, I've seen plenty of those as well. Yeah,
I
sorry, I
prefer-
do need to jump now. So, but great discussion. I'll try and yeah, and we can catch up next week. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, Andrew.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah, I'm a Mills guy, but you know, the Fahrenheit doesn't belong in an electronic standard, in my view.
Do the mechanical guys still use mils, or they?
No, that's all gone. Actually, both IPC and JEDIC have moved away from mills.
Okay, good.
One thing, you know, relative to the meeting that Andrew's going to join next week, we could probably streamline the length of the meeting if maybe an agenda email was sent out the night before or the day before. I could probably cut out a half hour right there.
It's an excellent idea.
Yeah, I think we can communicate that through email then when trying to schedule the time.
So Michael, you'll do that?
For the next meeting, as I said, all I'm going to do on the next meeting that I'm having at the off group is XML schema.
Yeah,
and the relationships between the data.
Yeah, just include a short
agenda.
Okay. Yeah, because I have more than I have a lot of meetings, so it's a good reminder just so when we jump into it, we refresh what we're talking about.
We don't start the meeting flat-footed and ask ourselves what the meeting was about.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's about glass transition temperature and thermal expansion in the X, Y, and Z direction. It might get into things like modulus values. I don't know, but
oh well, it's more than that. I want to review all of the properties and make sure that the list of conditions per property is adequate. So it's a schema review of the final result.
Well, if it can be bounded in any way, I'm not a huge fan of 2-hour meetings or 90-minute meetings. I try to get everything done in an hour or less. So
okay.
I agree. I think the schema discussions should be separate. Let's focus on.
That's what I requested in the beginning. A small team just focusing on the schema discussion without bringing in too many people. Because the more people you bring into this, the slower we will take to go and progress through it, because we constantly divert the meeting into other topics.
Right. So we definitely don't need a 2-hour meeting with those combined topics. So you want to do the schema first, or you want to?
That's what I want to do. I want to do the schema, and then we can review the content. That's what I suggested.
Okay. So yeah, what I was talking about was more the content, and that's where I think the Silicon folks need to get involved. So Mohammed and Rudy. So I don't think they need to be in the schema unless they'd like to. But
can we maybe you guys schedule transition, talk about that after that schema as well in the next meeting? So make sure that what's in there.
Yeah, we'll just set up a separate meeting.
Yeah, let's do it in the next meeting then. Would that be good enough, or we should set
to review the results in the next meeting, which is 2 weeks away? Yeah. If everything goes well, that's exactly what we'll do.
Yeah. So these working groups are smaller working groups that are ad hoc to discuss particular topics, and it's just the folks that are directly involved in doing the work. So anybody who wants to jump in and contribute, that's fine. And then what we do in these weekly and bi-weekly meetings is just provide the update. It's more communication and status type update. That's the direction we're trying to change these meetings. So we're still somewhat in the transitional where we're doing some stuff, but the intent was to keep this meeting shorter. I'd like to get it down to 1 meeting a week for just CDX status updates on all of the initiatives, and then just have separate working groups that go off and work on the different initiatives. And you know, that way it's just a very focused team focusing on the problem at hand rather than trying to get intros to new members and getting them up to speed and all that. And we end up, you know, spending half the meeting doing that. So again, anybody who wants to join that active working group, it's open, but you know, those discussions are, you know, we want to have them very efficient. So we just get to the crux of the matter and you know, solve the technical issues and make decisions there. And then we communicate that on a broader basis in the weekly calls. We all agree to that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just say update. I think by next meeting, I think we should have that like content and also the schema information. Then we can kind of review that.
James, in the spirit of Bill's suggestion, if we could post the agenda in the meeting invite, I think that would be helpful too, so people know what's being discussed, and then if they're interested, they can attend. If they're not interested, they can skip it if they have other things to do.
You mean for this meeting or for the other?
No, for this meeting.
Okay, so I mean, I just post agenda and discuss it, and then you will use the CDS as just a more update meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so this will become more kind of like this ad hoc then?
Correct.
Okay, so next meeting, okay, sure, we can do the agenda next meeting. I think I will discuss the content of this one, so hopefully we have that. I think like people, I think especially Andrew and other, I think like to provide content.
So right. So if the active working groups, you know, they should send updates to David or James with items that they want to put on the agenda. So, you know, just provide an update on the schema, or we're going to provide an update on the, you know, the temperature dependency properties, whatever, just so people know what we're going to talk about. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds good then. So yeah, I think next week, I think we probably not next week, in 2 weeks, I think we will like go over, I think, content of the grass transition. I think that's probably the agenda that we have so far. And as we see some other things coming up, right? Or other, we just kind of follow up and see like if there are more updates on these documents, and also like any changes on that schema side. I think from that data, I think meeting, and also like the see any update from the demo meeting. Then I think that's probably the 2 items. The 3 items. Okay. I think that's many from my side. Like, anyone has anything else? Tony, do you have any other things that you?
No.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, I am, this is for Michael maybe. I'm probably not likely to have time to go through the schema step by step. I can sign up for 1-hour meetings max, but nothing longer than that. For me,
Okay. Okay.
It needs to
okay.
be,
That-
it needs to be focused.
It's focused, right? Okay, just didn't say that we take a bit of time. Okay, but I sign you up for 1 hour.
Okay, it just makes my life better.
Okay.
Yeah. So by the way, I posted on the chat, I think for like especially a new person joining this meeting, I think there's like the group IOs. I think that's what we use to communicate. Please sign up there. I think so you just need to subscribe. I think you just send an email to that. There's a subscribe like link there. I think I send the email to that email address, and then it will send you email to confirm, which is confirm on it. Then you'll be on that email list, and then we'll send the agenda to that email list. Bill, are you seeing that? And Mohammed?
I see the chat, yeah.
Yeah, I did see. I sent you just right now the request. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's automatically done. So I think like it's done by the system. So I think when you will automatically reply to your email to confirm your email, then you just reconfirm again, then you should subscribe to it. And then you can also post to that email list. Like if you post, there's a separate list. Whatever you want to send to the email to share with everyone, you can post that as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
What does post mean in this context?
Oh, it's an email. You want to send email to this group? You just send to this email.
Oh, I see.
Everyone subscribe to this group will receive the email to this email address. It's like the group email.
Okay. And how many people are on that so far?
Let me check quickly.
Just a guess is fine.
Oh yeah, I would say like about a few dozen.
A
We
few.
have yeah.
Was that dozen or 1,000?
No, dozen.
Dozen.
A few drafts. So we say like 20, 30-ish, somewhere around there. Last time I checked, yeah.
A few dozen. Okay. 1,000 scared me. Yeah.
No. It will be great.
Okay.
Yeah, that's applied for everyone else. I think if you haven't subscribed yet, I think like Nathaniel or anyone else, yeah, please send it there. If you're not, I think able to get that, you can always send me email. I think I can help you also to sign up as well.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I think that's all for today, unless anyone else has anything. If not, then I think we can end the meetings early today. I think I give like maybe 10 minutes back to everyone.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
right.
everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.